Good morning, all, and we are going to discuss Unit 4, which deals about dashboard and dashboard design issues and the other major topics in Unit 4. We'll see one by one. So, these are the contents that are there in Unit 4, like information dashboard, introduction of dashboard, and we have three tutorials T10, T11, and T12. Apart from that, we will also be discussing about dashboard design issues and assessment of needs, and what are the considerations for designing the dashboard, then visual perception and achieving eloquence. And these are the T4, T5, T6 tutorials. And first, we majorly discuss on dashboards. What do you mean by a dashboard? What is the purpose of using dashboard? So always we already know about data visualization. Data visualization is the representation of data by using some common graphics such as charts, plots, infographics, and even animations. So these visual displays of information communicate the complex data relationships and data driven insights in a way that is easy to understand. That is the major need for data visualization, where dashboard comes into picture. Like, what is a dashboard? So dashboard is nothing but like a project is being ready, and the project team is going to display like in which way the project can be improved, or you can tell that in what will be the better way to generate revenue from the project. So finally, once the project is ready, uh, the entire view can be obtained by using dashboard. So a dashboard is a way of displaying various types of visual data in one place. So in a single frame, you can able to see all different charts that whatever you used in the previous topics. Like we already learned about bar plot, like bar graph, then pie chart, all these small plots we have done. We understood how we can able to implement these, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to bring in all these charts in a single page. That is what a dashboard is. So a dashboard is intended to convey different but related information in easy to digest form, and this includes like key performance indicators or other important business metrics that stakeholders need to see and understand at a glance. And as well as dashboards are useful across different industries and verticals because they are highly customizable, and they are going to include data of all sorts with varying data ranges to help you understand what happened, why it happened, what may happen, and what action you should take. And since dashboard use visualizations like tables, graphs, and charts, others who are not as close to the data can quickly and easily understand the story it tells or the insights it reveals. Dashboard design is a critical, and we focus on the dashboard design issues in the forthcoming slide. So these are the dashboard design issues. While designing the dashboard, there are a lot of issues will come into picture, and we'll see one by one. And these are some of the design issues, like we have data quality preparation, data complexity, design and layout, and how to choose the right visualization, user experience, business concept, performance optimization, user adoption, enable highlighting. And these are the major design issues that dashboard faces. So first design issues, data quality. Actually, data quality, and we will also focus on data preparation as well. So whenever you focus on consistency, we will be focusing more on ensuring the data source feeding into the dashboard or whether it is consistent. If inconsistent data is there, it is going to lead to incorrect insights or user mistrust. As well as we should also focus on accuracy. The data must be accurate, with errors or anomalies minimized. So errors and anomalies minimized before being displayed on the dashboard, and the timeliness data should be up to date as because the outdated data can lead to incorrect decisions. So always make sure that when while preparing for data, we have to make sure that the data is up to date, and And also we need to check whether irrelevant data is there. If irrelevant data is there, it is going to totally collapse or clutter the dashboard and distract users. So the next design issue is data complexity. So data complexity is how far we can make the dashboard as simple as possible by using some filters and also make it more simple. So complex data should be, this data set should be simplified in order to avoid overwhelming users. So in order, how to use those simplifications? So by involving aggregating data or using filters, or you are going to break down data into digestible segments. So, as with respect to context, provide context for complex data such as historical comparisons or benchmarks to help users interpret the data correctly. As well as you also need to follow the hierarchy. So, organize data in such a way that highlights relationships and priorities, ensuring that most critical information is easily accessible. So, this is what uh, we are going to deal with the complexities. Always larger data sets normally will be a complex one. So in order to avoid that, we use different techniques like aggregating, filtering, breaking down into digestible segments and all. So this is what about data complexity. So next is design and layout. So while designing the dashboard, make sure that the layout is so clear. So it should ensure the design should prioritize clarity, and it ensure that users can quickly understand the dashboard purpose. What is the why this dashboard is being displayed, and what is the how what is the data behind, how they are going to interpret it. All these things are should be clear, and there should be a balanced layout. Like for example, uh, like 75 percentage of the space is occupied by a pie chart, and maybe 25 percentage of the chart is used by other chart, 25 percentage of the dashboard is used by other chart. Means it is going to you will not have a better feel. So what you are going to use, you are going to use a balanced layout to avoid cluttering and ensure that all the elements, all the charts that are appropriately weighted. So overloading a dashboard with too much information also can be overwhelming. And also use white spaces effectively to separate different sections, making the dashboard easier to navigate and less visually overwhelming. And properly align the elements as well. So next comes the choosing the right visualizations. So we have a number of visualizations. We have used bar chart, line chart, scatter plot, pie chart, histogram, heat maps, box plots, area charts for different purposes. So we all know that what is the need for bar chart, what is the need for line charts and all. We have to make sure that whether the right visualizations or have been chosen or not. For example, so fit for purpose. For example, you are going to select a visualization that is going to best represent the data. For example, line charts can be used for trends, and bar charts when you are going to compare different models and those things. That time you can choose bar charts, and pie charts for proportions as you normally use. And also you need to make sure that visualizations accurately represent the data and avoid common pitfalls like distorted scales or inappropriate chart types also will be misleading, will be showing as a misleading visual. So make sure that you avoid these things. And as well as interactivity, so incorporate interactive elements, like you can use filters where we already discussed in third unit, and we can use drill downs, hover over, in order to allow users to explore the data more deeply. That's how the interactivity comes into picture. And we also make sure that the consistency is there in the visuals. For example, you should use a consistent style in colors. For in one chart, you can use one font, and the other chart you cannot use a different font. So make sure that you have a consistent style in the entire dashboard. So each and every chart should follow the same style in terms of colors, fonts, and chart types across the dashboard to avoid confusion. So next is user experience. So user experience, the dashboard should be easy to navigate with a clear structure that guides users to the most critical information. And designing those user friendly experience, like it is going to guide users to insights, the patterns from the dashboards rather than overwhelming them with the data. And we also make sure that we are allowing users to customize their view or choose what data they see based on their role or preferences. Each and every dynamically they can able to see that type of dashboard we have to design. And the dashboard should be responsive, meaning it works well on different devices as well as for different screen sizes. Whether it can be used in the laptop or it can be used in mobile phones. In such a way, the dashboard should be responsive. And also make sure that we have to optimize the dashboard to ensure fast loading times, as because if you have delays it is going to frustrate users and reduce productivity. And next comes the business concept. So we all, whenever we start working on a project, we deal with the business concepts, alignment with business goals, like dashboard design. Whenever we are designing, it should align with the overall business goals, and it should provide insights about it should directly support decision making. For example, according to a weather prediction, if you have a weather prediction system, and it should increase the revenue, like in terms of sales. For example, the weather prediction system is there in a particular application, and the salesperson can, or the owner can implement these kind of prediction system to increase their revenue in such a way that what has happened during the last March, and what can, in which way, like I can able to improve the sales of ice cream or sales of coffee. That way we can correlate and improve the business. So the dashboard design should align with the overall business goals, in order to support decision making. And the key performance indicators and metrics, all these are very mostly relevant to the business objectives. And also we should involve stakeholders in the design process to ensure the dashboard meets their needs and expectations. And yes. So performance optimization. After the data is loaded, we have to optimize data queries and processing to ensure that the dashboard performs well, especially when we are working with larger data sets. In case of larger data sets, we can use appropriate caching mechanisms to speed up the dashboard loading times, especially for frequently accessed data. Whenever the same data is going to be accessed again and again, what we can do is we can use caching mechanism that is available in Tableau itself, and you can speed up the dashboard loading times. And then the efficient queries, right? We have to write efficient database queries to minimize the time required to retrieve and display data. So by using caching itself, we can able to handle, or we can improve the performance of the dashboard. Next is the user adoption. So provide, we have to provide, like the users will be using the particular dashboard, and we have to provide adequate training and support to help users get the most out of the dashboard. And we also need to gather feedback from the users regularly and iterate on the design to improve the dashboard over time. And this is going to ensure that the dashboard is user friendly with minimal learning curve to encourage widespread adoption. So next comes the consideration for designing dashboard. What are the different considerations for designing dashboard? So know your purpose and audience. Leverage the most viewed spot designed for the real world, and add interactivity to encourage exploration. Know your purpose and audience. Whenever you are going to design, what are the fundamental principles behind dashboard designers? The first principle is know your purpose and audience. So why we are using this dashboard, what is the primary goal of using a dashboard, and who are the audience? Accordingly you have to work on the design. Okay, you have to work on the design. So for example, whenever you are working on the primary, so the purpose is mainly to understand the primary goal of the dashboard, and we are going to ensure that whether we are providing an overview of key performance indicators, we are enabling or we enabling detailed data explorations or tracking progress against specific objectives. So defining this purpose will guide the overall design, the data to include, and the types of visualizations to use. Then the audience, we have to identify who will be using the dashboards. Different users have different needs. Executives might prefer high level summaries, while analysts might need more detailed data with drill down capabilities. So you have to understand who is the audience. Accordingly, you have to tailor the dashboard to their specific needs in order to improve usability and relevance. Next is the leverage the most viewed spot. So most viewers scan web content starting at the top left of a page. Always our eyes focus mostly on the top left of a page. So you have to think over like which is the most viewed part. Accordingly, you have to design in such a way. The top left corner of the dashboard is usually the first place users look, as we all know, and place the most important information in this area to ensure that they are seen immediately. So this practice leverages visual hierarchy and ensures that critical data is not missed. And the user eye flow, like which typically moves from the top left to the bottom right. So arrange content so that the most crucial information is encountered first, followed by the supporting details. Designed for the real world. As you can see, on the right hand side, you can able to see the size and all. You can able to fix what can be the minimum size, maximum size. All these things you are going to design according to the device. So, like whenever you are creating a dashboard using the same screen size and resolution that your audience will use, which this approach ensures that the layout, font sizes, and visual elements are appropriate and clear on the end user's device, whether it's a desktop, tablet, or it can be a smartphone. And we also make sure that avoid cluttering your dashboard with too many views or charts, focusing on the most critical data points and metrics that align with the dashboard's purpose. Overloading users with too much information can lead to confusion. So we should focus the user at the final display size, and also we should limit the number of users. If that means you are going to avoid cluttering your dashboard. And like for example, see here like this the design. So by default, Tableau dashboards are going to use a fixed size, and you are going to keep the setting, and we have to make the set size to automatic. So automatically it is going to adjust the screen size. This means that if you are going to design a dashboard at 1300 in cross 700 pixels, Tableau is going to resize it for smaller displays. And we have the next consideration is design for the real world. So you're going to create your dashboard in such a way that same screen and size and resolution should be overwhelmed, and limit the number of users. So avoid cluttering your dashboard with too many views or charts. So you can able to see a dashboard where it is being categorized based on the profit over time, profit by category, profit by segment, and all. So generally, it's a good idea to limit the number of views you include in your dashboard to 2 or 3. If you add too many views, visual clarity and big picture can get lost in these details. So add interactivity to encourage exploration. So you will be showing filters, incorporating filters uh, in the dashboard, which allows users to customize the data they view according to their needs. And this is going to help users find specific insights without being overwhelmed by all the data at once. Or if we can say that filters are particularly useful for dashboards whenever we are working with larger data sets, or whenever we are working with multiple dimensions. And we also make sure that highlighting allows. So normally whenever you write in the examination also, we use some high, or whenever we read we highlight and make sure that we focus on specific data points or trends or outliers. The same way here also, in dashboards we use highlighting to focus on specific data points. So this feature is going to enable or valuable for understanding the patterns and for comparisons, and by using which it is going to enhance the user experience by making the dashboard more dynamic and responsive. So we discussed almost all the principles, and these principles are crucial for creating effective user friendly dashboards that deliver clear and actionable insights. So these are the a layout where it is categorized based on the profit by segment, and you can also add filters to have a better clarity. And this is the highlighting that is being done, and how to work with the highlighter. This has been shown here. Check show highlighter, and you can able to show it. And next comes the achieving eloquence. Achieving eloquence means it is going to more than just making it visually appealing. It's like it involves thoughtful design, clear storytelling, and intuitive interactivity. So, like, what are the major components of achieving eloquence? Or like a clear and concise layout, thoughtful color palette, effective storytelling, interactive elements, focusing on user experience, attention to detail, and interactive, iterative design process. So we'll see one by one. So clear and concise layout. The layout should be, as we discussed, it should be straightforward and easy to navigate. And we also make sure that we avoid cluttering the dashboard with too many elements or overwhelming users with excessive information. The same thing we already discussed in the design issues, and also we have to arrange it in a proper, in a logical order, the most data positioned prominently. So, and you can also use grids, sections, and consistent spacing to guide the users eye flow effectively. Mostly it flows from the uh, top left to the bottom right. And thoughtful color palette. So, and choose a color palette which enhances readability and distract from the data. Color should be used in such a way that it highlights key insights, differentiate data points, or indicate different categories rather than for decoration. And also make sure you are going to maintain a consistent color scheme throughout the dashboard, which is going to help users quickly understand the visual language and makes the dashboard appear more professional and cohesive. And the next way of achieving eloquence is effective storytelling. Once the dashboard is ready, you should have an effective storytelling by the team. So the dashboard should tell a story with the data, guiding the user through a sequence of insights. For example, each chart or graph should contribute to the overall narrative, helping users understand the context, trends, and key takeaways. And you should make sure that the dashboard, each and every element, okay, should be in a sequence, so that the storytelling will be more effective. And we will also use some annotations and labels or even titles to provide more context, and it explains what the data is you showing, so that the user can grasp the insights without needing additional explanations. And then comes the next way to achieve eloquence is interactive elements. Interactive elements such as filters, drill downs, tool tips, which is going to allow users to explore the data at their own pace. And this interactivity is going to make the dashboard more engaging and useful for a wider audience with different needs. And we also ensure that the interactive elements work smoothly across different devices and screen sizes, of which we have already discussed. What can even it can be a smartphone, a tablet, or a laptop, whatever be the device and whatever be the screen sizes, it should be more responsive. So responsiveness is crucial for maintaining a good user experience, rather whether it can be in any devices. And focus on user experience. The dashboard should be intuitive, like you are going to have a clear navigation and easily accessible insight, and users should be able to find the information they need with a minimal effort. Optimize the dashboard for quick loading times and smooth performance even when handling large data sets. Slow dashboards can frustrate the users and decrease adoption rate. So always try to use catching mechanisms and load frequent data whenever it is there, like whenever you are accessing a frequent data, use caching mechanism so that the dashboards will not get slowed. Okay, so normally slow dashboards going to frustrate the users and decrease the adoption rate. And we have attention to detail, and here we are going to ensure that all the elements, all the charts of the dashboard are accurately aligned with consistent fonts, colors, and spacing. Small details like these contribute to the overall polish and professionalism. And we also need to double check that all data present is accurate and up to date. And whenever we have a mistake in data, it can undermine the dashboard's credibility and lead to poor decision making, and totally that will be a problem. And the last one is iterative design process. Iterative design process we already discussed in, you have learned in software engineering. Like once the design is over, we make sure iterate. We try to improvise the process. So even here also dashboard design is an iterative process, or you focus more on continuous improvement and how to ensure an improvement on the dashboard. So what we have to do is you have to gather feedback from the users regularly and make improvements based on their inputs. And it is going to ensure that the dashboard evolves to meet users' changing needs and remains effective over time. And the prototyping, like whenever we finalize, before finalizing the dashboard, we create prototypes and conduct user testing to identify potential issues and gather early feedback. So this approach helps catch design flaws and usability issues before they become bigger problems. So these are the major things that are there, achieving eloquence and all. So more than creating visual appearing charts, it should have a clear storytelling and intuitive interactivity. Overall, the dashboard is the dashboards that are used, the dashboards in data visualization are going to represent a summary of different but related data sets presented in a way that makes the related information easier to understand. And dashboards are such a type of data visualization and often use common visualization tools such as graph, charts, and tables. And some of the examples of dashboard are like mostly it includes web, digital marketing, then analytics dashboard, business insight, social media, product usage, customer journey, user behavior, or user retention, knowledge base, and net promoter score analytics score. And top five analytical tools whatever we use is user pilot, or we can use amplitude, Mixpanel, Google Analytics, and Power BI. And it can be a dashboard can be of strategic, operational, or analytics, so in order to provide a clear visual representation of data for decision making. That's all about unit 4. Thank you all.